Funniest thing that ever happened with a governing body member while you're there?
It was interesting what Garrett Loesch said in a talk that he had at the end of his talk. Said that we know that there are some things in the Society's publications that we need to change. It's just not the right time for it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And that just struck me as strange, because if there are things that they need to print, they should go ahead and do it. But if he says that there's things to print and it's not Jehovah's time yet, well, why isn't it Jehovah's time to print these changes? So apparently there are things that he felt were not correct in the Society's publications. He didn't go into detail,
mm-hmm.
but he did say that there are things that needed to be changed in the printed truth.
Was it a situation where you knew that if you came out and spoke your mind that you'd be disowned by family members, by friends?
I knew that if once I came to the conclusion that what Jehovah's Witnesses teach is not true, it would be a serious decision for me, because I knew I would risk all of my family members as well as all of my friends shunning me.
Right.
And for all of my friends, that has been true. For some of my family, it also has come true that they no longer will have anything to do with me.
Why is it that you decided to leave the organization?
Basically, it's because I've realized that a lot of the teachings that Jehovah's Witnesses teach cannot be found in the Bible. And this is something I realized when I was in Gilead, because, as I mentioned, we had to read the Bible twice in about an 8-month period. And I realized several things didn't really seem to be clearly taught in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some things like the idea that there's 7 Gentile times. The Bible mentions 7 times. It mentions there's Gentile times, but it doesn't mention both of these ideas in the same scripture.
Right.
And if that's a central teaching of Jehovah's Witnesses, that 1914 is a mark date in prophecy, yet it doesn't come from a single scripture. It comes from a mixture of different scriptures that you have to put together.
And not only that, but a mixture of interpretations of certain scriptures.
Right. So it's not, while witnesses claim that everything they believe is based in the Bible, it really is based on their interpretation of the Bible. It's not something that's clearly taught in the Bible. The same thing can be said for the teaching of the other sheep. When I was in Gilead, I realized, and there's even questions from readers about it, that the other sheep, according to Christendom, are merely the Gentiles. That Jesus was saying that you are Jews, and soon I will invite other sheep into this fold. A couple of years from now, there's going to be Gentiles who are going to invite into my fold. When I read that that's what Christendom teaches, it seemed to make a lot more sense than saying very vaguely, well, 1900 years from now, people are going to join into my fold, and they're going to believe they're going to live on the earth instead of the heaven. That really doesn't make sense in the context of the scripture. So,
sure.
And when I read the Watchtower's response and the questions from readers, the response really didn't seem to have that much weight.
What would you say to any current witnesses right now still in the organization?
I would say that they really need to analyze as to whether what the Society teaches is really true, whether it's really based on the Bible. Society suggested to read the Bible is a very valid suggestion, because if you read the Bible, if you can find that the Bible teaches everything that the Society says it does, well, then by all means stay as a witness. But if you find that the Society is mixing together different unrelated scriptures to base their teachings on, well, then it really deserves questioning whether the Society is teaching everything that's the truth.
Excellent. Well, Lance, we thank you for your time and for your experiences. Thank you for being a part of Watchtower Comments.
Thanks very much.